Welcome. I'm Darren Danielson. You know, I've been covering the news here in the Northland for more than 35 years. There are many great stories, many great organizations that I've had the privilege of reporting on over these years, and we're here today to celebrate and support one of the best, LISC, the Local Initiatives Support Corporation. So on behalf of LISC Duluth and its many partners, we want to thank you for joining us. It is my privilege to serve as your official MC for our second virtual celebration of LISC Duluth. And this year's theme is Rising to the Challenge.
And hi, I'm Pam Kramer, Executive Director of LISC Duluth. And first of all, thank you, Darren, for joining us and for your help today. And to our audience, we greatly appreciate your engagement and joining us today and your commitment to the work that we do in the community.
Yeah, you know, 2021 marks LISC Duluth's 24th year working as an advocate and a community builder for Duluth. Now, Pam, for those who are unfamiliar with LISC, could you give us a little synopsis of what LISC Duluth does?
Sure. LISC is a national community development intermediary, and our Duluth program is one of 37 local LISC programs around the country. We're committed to closing the racial, health, wealth, and opportunity gaps that exist in Duluth and throughout the nation. And we believe that no single factor drives the opportunity gap, so no single program can fix it. That's why LISC takes a comprehensive approach. We do this by working with residents, nonprofits, and an extensive network of public and private sector partners to help the community access safe, affordable housing, quality education, job training, financial coaching, digital access, healthy food, and much more. Today, we're happy to have National LISC Executive Vice President for Programs, Denise Scott, join us on behalf of our national office. Welcome, Denise.
I want to extend a special thanks to and congratulations to Pam and Larson and Tina and the local advisory board for all the hard work you do locally and for this great event. This past year certainly has been difficult. But yet you've all risen to the challenge, to the occasion, to support Duluth and its residents. Last year, LISC formed partnerships with dozens of corporations and foundations across the country to provide financial assistance to small businesses and not-for-profits in response to the pandemic. These funds help LISC support thousands of small businesses with essential funding. What's special about Duluth is that we've been able to use our national relationships to leverage some of this important work in your backyard, particularly around small business support. This included $240,000 provided through US Bank and Verizon grant funds, which assisted 32 small businesses, and a vaccine access program that you'll learn more about later today. All of this work falls under the banner of Project 10X, which is an initiative LISC launched last year as a call to the close of the racial, health, wealth, and opportunity gap. I ask that as we all rise to this challenge, that you join us on this journey to achieve greater prosperity for all. Thank you again for inviting me today, and I look forward to seeing more of the great work that you do in Duluth.
Thank you so much for joining our celebration today, Denise. We appreciate your leadership and support for our work in Duluth.
Yeah, we certainly do, Pam. And you know, today we're recognizing Equilibrium 3 for rising to the challenge right here in Duluth. Eco 3 was the grant recipient and a key neighborhood convener who helped administer the US Bank LISC COVID Rapid Recovery Program this past year. This program provided grants and technical assistance to small businesses in the midst of this pandemic, and it actually developed a blueprint for Lincoln Park's recovery. Equilibrium 3's role as a neighborhood connector, a trusted ally, and a source of support for neighborhood small businesses was integral to keeping Lincoln Park small businesses alive during this challenging year of 2020. They were able to provide over $50,000 in LISC US Bank grants and help coordinate added technical assistance to neighborhood businesses too. They helped develop, augment, and then skillfully implement a neighborhood recovery plan to support businesses, support residents, and support entrepreneurs, which continues to strengthen the neighborhood and the entire community today.
As if this weren't enough, as Denise Scott shared this spring, Equilibrium 3 continues their leadership by launching the startup of the Vaccine Access Fund, a partnership between LISC, PayPal, Uber, and Walgreens. Many people were unable to get to a vaccine distribution site due to a lack of safe, reliable transportation. So this program supports nonprofits to book Uber rides for those who need them. ECO3 is engaging community partners, including community COVID navigators, the healthcare sector, and local vaccination champions to work together on this vital project. I'd like to congratulate ECO3 on receiving LISC Duluth's Pandemic Partner Award and thank them for their leadership and willingness to rise to the challenge.
Indeed we do. And we also want to share that their efforts just recently, by the way, gained national recognition. The Main Street Forward Award from the National Main Street Center Incorporated, one of just 6 in the entire nation. ECO3 has risen to the challenge locally and are exemplary examples of neighborhood recovery and resilience work. And this quick video highlights the leadership that they have actually shown in addressing the multiple challenges this past year.
A business district doesn't exist in a vacuum. I say all the time that collaboration is our secret sauce.
We all work together, and we have been for years.
In the process of addressing food insecurity with our neighborhood residents, we were able to volunteer with one of our craft breweries with a free farmers market. And we were also able to provide spring break groceries for students in need in partnership with a neighborhood restaurant that was closed.
It's been a wild year, but we really saw our community come together that much more.
We were able to start a mini factory for people to assemble face shields, and that was in conjunction with our friends at Frost River.
Our charter from the beginning was to help our healthcare workers get the PPE that they needed. We were able to turn around and take our sewing machines and clear this entire store floor that we're standing in. It actually had 24 sewing machines going on it, 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. We got to a point with this crew that we were making 5,000 masks a day.
As part of that, we were able to kick off our neighborhood gift card by providing all of the volunteers a Main Street Lincoln Park gift card that was able to get some cash infusion immediately into our business community.
They really supply a lot of help and monies, and I've gone on their resource things and found out new things I can do for my business.
Business owners needed a place to go for information and support, and by offering the most recent information regarding PPP and idle resources, Main Street Lincoln Park became both a landing pad and a sounding board for our budding entrepreneurs. We were able to provide $40,000 in direct aid grants and customized technical assistance to neighborhood entrepreneurs.
I'm really excited to see all the development that's happening in this neighborhood. Even during COVID, there's more stores coming in and businesses, and when we're ready to be free flowing again, it's going to be even better than it was before.
People want to help, and we all know the power of together, and I think people really have understood the value of that during pandemic, and I think this is a nationwide trend.
Congratulations and a huge thank you to ECO3 CEO Jody Slick, Director of Partnership Development Shannon Lang, and their entire staff for receiving LISC Duluth's Pandemic Partner Award.
Again, congratulations to Jody, Shannon, and the Equilibrium 3 team. Great work in our community. I'm Larson, Program Officer with LISC Duluth. Joining me today is Shaquana McIntyre from Family Rise Together. We've been working together for about 3+ years on different initiatives in the community. And share a little bit about Family Rise Together with us, Shaquana.
Yeah, thank you, Lars. My name is Shaquana McIntyre. I am the CEO of Family Rise Together. We're a nonprofit organization serving both North and South St. Louis County. We focus on economic development, housing, and mental health services for Black, Indigenous, people of color, BIPOC community.
COVID-19 has had a huge impact on our community. And could you share a little bit how Family Rise Together has risen and addressed that in our community?
Yes, in the beginning, our work focused on, we did a lot of work focusing on economic development, and what we learned in helping those individuals is they really needed more help with rental assistance, utilities, gas and lights. And so we stopped focusing on their dreams, but focusing on meeting their basic needs. As you'll know that the pandemic pushed us to have to rise to the occasion and challenge ourselves as an organization to become innovative in how we're going to serve and be of help in our community.
So one of those innovations was a microgrant program that we used to help get grants to entrepreneurs in our community. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yes, what I learned is the micro grant process is hard, but we had a lot of fun getting money into the hands of individuals who would have never been able to get that funding. We're thankful for the city of Duluth for providing that funding for us to be able to help individuals. And as you'll see in the video to follow by Ray Moore, who is one of our most recent recipients, he'll tell you in his own words.
You meet a lot of people who have great ideas and businesses, but they have kids and families and jobs and COVID bills, and it's kind of hard to focus on their dreams. So what I wanted to do was take some of that pressure off. I help people out who have talent and skills, but not necessarily sure how to work such thing as TikTok or Instagram. So through talking to Family Rise Together, I was told what I was doing was I was running a social media agency and being a public relations artist. And I had no idea until I was told. And then after that, Off the Record was born. Our next step, I'm looking for a place locally here in Duluth, because the greatest thing about what we do is it's generational, and there's a bunch of kids out there who have these talents. There's so many of them, but they don't know how to run computers or how to turn on a recording program, maybe work a camera or things like the green screen. So I'm hoping that I can find some investors and maybe some help to help me start a program for them children, rather it starts as a class and maybe turn it into some type of community center where they can go and learn these skills. Because it took me a while to get it, and if I'd have had it when I was 12, 11, 10, already started, I mean, ain't no telling what could have happened. You know, it's easier to say, no, you should go to this school and do this or get this job, when a person really wants to be a writer, they're really good at that guitar, they just don't know how to make something of it. So I'd rather start them young or give them at least a chance to learn and make it a skill.
Another initiative that we're working on with Family Rise Together is our Wealth, Entrepreneurship, and Economic Stability Initiative. It's really a broad community approach working on bringing access to capital for BIPOC entrepreneurs in our community, and also access to workforce for our BIPOC community members. Can you share a little bit about the work that we're doing together?
Yes, so what is beautiful about the WEES group is that it is actually being community led. We have a great understanding that we have organizations at the table, but we also have BIPOC individuals at the table who are in position of power of making decisions, which is vitally important in our community. This work is opening up our understanding that there's amazing services in our community, but what we're not having where we're not having success is getting people, BIPOC, people of color in the doors to get the services that they need. And so the WEES group is putting us in a position to say, let's slow down. We know what's available here. We know the needs because we've had plenty of needs assessments in our community, but the two are not connecting. And I believe that the WEES group is a bridge for that work. And Family Rise Together is very proud to be a partner at the table. And in the following video, you'll see that Janessa will share that information in her own words. She too is also a recipient of the micro grant from Family Rise Together.
So with COVID, it kind of launched me into the entrepreneurial realm. You know, I went to school for business and technology, so I have a bachelor's degree in business and technology with a focus in management, and I was just trying to figure out what to do with that. So I had all these ideas, but I just really didn't know how to implement them. And I also was just, working regular jobs and just kind of kept putting it off. But when COVID came about, it just really, lit a fire under me and said, okay, what are you doing? Everything is a little bit unstable right now. How can you create a stream of income for yourself? And so that's where I kind of fell into, really honing in on being an entrepreneur. I heard about it on the website, the Family Rise Together website, to be exact. And so I just went ahead and applied. and I had a lot of help from the staff to help me with my application. I was kind of just putting off the ideas that I had to start my own business, but when I was awarded the grant, it's just like, okay, this is actually happening. You know, I guess had more belief in myself, more hope, more faith, and the fact that I can actually do something like this. And so, yeah, it really impacted me, and it's going to impact my family as well. Charm Jewelry focuses on healing properties of crystals. So it's going to be working with crystals like amethyst, rose quartz, tiger's eye, you know, crystals like that, gemstones like that. It's basically for women ages 25 to 35 who are looking for another like tool to put in their toolkit as far as like helping them balance their mental and emotional health because of all the healing properties that crystals provide. So it's just something fun and beautiful, but also it's something that can bring, you know, balance to everyone, but specifically my focus is women. Be my own leader, be accountable to myself, really work hard towards something and use my creativity.
Thank you to Shaquana, Ray, and Janessa for sharing their stories. Through them, we can definitely see the impact of their work, microgrants, and the work that we're doing through LISC on our community. So thanks very much.
Oh, and you know, Lars, thank you to you too. That was a great conversation. You know, the COVID-19 pandemic, oh goodness, Pam, it brought so many new challenges to almost every aspect to our way of life. Changed the way we work, changed the way we interact with others, even changed the way we learn.
That's absolutely true. And last May, LISC Local Advisory Board gathered to discuss COVID-19 and in order to identify the best ways for LISC to direct its efforts in our local community. This discussion led to the formation of Duluth's Digital Inclusion Initiative, which now includes 22 organizations and has raised well over $1 million, distributed over 6,800 computers, and provided over 1,000 hotspots since May 2020.
That is just incredible. And each year during this particular event that you're watching here today, LISC highlights partners as well as programs that are helping to help Duluth address inequities and move families and neighborhoods forward. And this year, we would like to introduce you to some of the many partners that rose to the challenge to remove the digital barriers that were exacerbated by the pandemic.
We were just, you know, having fun, living our best life. And then it was kind of stressful when lockdown hit. We all have one computer that we all share in the house. And so since there's like 3 kids that have to do schoolwork. And so that was gonna get stressful. You know, no help, nothing.
Without the ability to have access available for everybody, it's not equitable education. It's not access for everyone to have education, and that's just unethical. We can't do that to our kids and our families in this community. We won't do that.
There are some people who like have their own personal laptops, and some people who do share a computer with their entire family, or some people who just don't have a computer at all.
Being part of a community-based organization right now, and through this experience, has really highlighted the need for networks and supporting each other and working together.
Hearing the need throughout the city and the ways in which everyone wanted to come together to make sure we could eliminate as many barriers as we could.
Career Force, I'm in. How can I help you?
Right away, we were just taking thousands of frantic calls from people who had suddenly lost their job. The school district was working hard because they had to figure out how to connect students for virtual learning. And that conversation evolved and grew into the Duluth Digital Inclusion Initiative, which is now a partnership of many, many organizations, foundations, really working on the digital divide.
That team of coming together was realizing we didn't have to go it alone, that there were other community partners who were also looking at trying to find that same level of connectivity and opportunities.
We realized that there were a lot of people that couldn't access our services because they don't have a computer or internet. We saw that there was a need to support that. You know, you can give a computer to someone, but then you need to explain to them, how do you start an email account? How do you access the websites that have the information you need on community resources? And so LISC and Workforce Development together sought out funding to support a digital navigator role.
I'm Cindy Brown, and I'm the Community Tech Coordinator, because there's a real economic divide between those who have computers and who don't have computers, between those who are computer literate and those who don't have computer literacy to a real functional level. And I love it when I can see the light coming on in people's eyes and they start to get it.
Having the devices is just one thing. Then you need the internet connection that's strong enough to handle that much video. And, you know, that's expensive. Getting an internet connection that has that much bandwidth is really expensive, and not every household in Duluth has access to it.
LISC partnering to get a grant was a component for supporting our hotspot costs for each month. So we've been in partnership with LISC, and we are able to secure these hotspots till the end of the school year, even though we have students coming back to school, so that they can continue to do digital work outside of the school day.
Since we all got our own Chromebook, it made it a lot easier. Being able to readily contact my teachers, and a lot of assignments were graded just like that. It's you kind of sitting there. It's kind of drowning, right? You're sitting there drowning in stress, overwhelming and stuff like that, anxiety, and you're just flailing your arms asking for help, but no one's coming until finally that one person reaches out and you're pulled out, and it's like your life is saved. You know, you have a way out, you have help.
Oh, that is fabulous. That really, doesn't it help highlight, the effort that's really needed? It's clear that digital access and navigation continue to be a major priority for Duluth and really all of us.
You're right, Darren. And clearly, our work is not completed yet. We're continuing to seek partners in this work, including securing quality, used computer donations from local businesses and ensuring that we secure affordable connectivity and provide needed training. So please contact me if you'd like to help. And now, one of my favorite parts of this event, I'm very excited to introduce and welcome Duluth Mayor Emily Larson to share a few remarks.
Thank you, Pam. First of all, you're right here. The camera's here. Everyone's at home. It's there's a lot going on here at the studio because there is so much important work happening here in the city of Duluth. So thank you, Pam. Thank you, Darren. I've been able to hear the videos and the comments leading up to this. It is extraordinary what people are doing here, how things are going in the city of Duluth. And first of all, let me just start by saying I hope that you, all of you, at your computers, in your offices, on your homes, listening into earbuds, I hope you are healthy and well. I hope that you are loved by somebody and you have someone in your life you get to love as we are going through this really difficult, interesting, important time. An intersection of life. I have found in the past year how important LISC has been as a partner for us. In my State of the City a few weeks ago, I talked about building a resilient economy and a resilient return from the pandemic that would be based on equity, that would be based on community, and that would be based on sustainability. And not surprisingly, these are very shared values with Duluth LISC. And what I have found time and again is that Pam and Larson, the incredible team at Duluth LISC, step up every time that there is a need, not just to advocate for a specific issue, but to advocate with and for people in specific neighborhoods. So it's important to me that I talk specifically about a couple of things The Housing Task Force is something that I convened last year to help advance more housing investment across the city, in particular affordability and expanding affordability for people with people in this community. LISC was one of our experts who sat around the table to ensure that we were top of mind talking about all of the resources that National could bring to bear and what was happening in other cities. We will be partnering in the Housing Trust Fund, which I'm really excited about, and made the announcement about. Pam and I, LISC and the City of Duluth, will be going to foundations and investors together to build a pot of money to help advance and expedite the creation of affordable housing across the city. So I'm really grateful and excited about that. I have seen Duluth LISC do important work as it relates to just the pandemic and a resilient recovery. You've already heard about the digital inclusion elements, the community and the equity and the sustainability that are so much a part of the work of this board and of this staff. It's really amazing. And finally, what I get so excited about with Duluth LISC is that they are not just a one-trick, one-issue organization. They are about advancing the needs of neighbors with neighbors. And so we have seen economic development, we have seen food access and food access expansion, safe and healthy recreation. We are now doing more with vaccines. This is based on listening to and advancing the voices of people who live in neighborhoods that want to see this work done, that need to see this work done. So it is such a pleasure to be here. I, of course, wish that we were all together in one space. I cannot wait for that to happen, even though it's slow. We are getting there, and I want to share with you that today feels very hopeful as we're listening to the stories of how people are doing, of the important work that's happening. It is based on hope. It is based on people investing their time, their resources, their energy, their vision into something that is bigger than themselves, that is better than what we can all be as single individuals or organizations. So my sincere and deep thanks to Pam, to Lars, to Duluth LISC, to everybody involved. It is a work of passion, time, and intensity that is really reaping benefits. I know you've heard a lot about that, but there's nothing like the person-to-person story that really helps to embed that. So I'm excited now to share some time with one of my favorite people, who is Executive Director Pam Kramer, and I think we have some fun we get to have and some exciting news we get to share.
What an exciting day.
It is.
So thank you so much, Mayor Larson.
Yeah.
And we're so excited to be a key partner with the city in developing the Duluth Housing Trust Fund. Mm-hmm. We look forward to working together and identifying other partners to grow that fund and to increase Duluth's capacity to address the need for quality, affordable housing. And so thank you for your leading that initiative. Yeah. Really, really look forward to addressing what is a key need in our community. Yeah. But we're here today to also recognize an essential partner in addressing Duluth's affordable housing needs and to present our annual Building Healthy Communities Award.
This year's recipient is a pillar of Duluth's community and a steadfast partner with LISC Duluth and the city. In the last year, One Roof Community Housing has remained true to their mission, even in the midst of pandemic, and stayed focused on ensuring access to quality, affordable housing.
In 2020, in response to COVID-19, One Roof began administering a state program, the COVID Housing Assistance Program, that provided over $800,000 in rent, utility, and mortgage payments to individuals experiencing financial hardships. One Roof Community Housing was recently awarded federal funding to continue helping people maintain their homes through this crisis. And One Roof expanded during this time their focus on homelessness, engaging 10 organizations in a 6-month process that resulted in a new model for housing people experiencing homelessness. And now they are working to move this into the implementation stage and hopefully some funding for the program too. They are also launching a credit builder program to help Black, Indigenous, and people of color to dig out from debt, build positive credit, save to buy homes of their own, and really build wealth as a part of that program.
In the last year, One Roof Community Housing has secured funding to develop over 100 units of affordable housing in Duluth, which includes Decker dwellings. And you can see the current status of the project here in this short drone footage. It is always so exciting to be able to see the footage of projects that are coming to life. It is such a pleasure to have Jeff Corey here, who is the Executive Director of One Roof Community Housing. I have known you for so long, Jeff, and it's been so much fun to see our work kind of intersect and do all of this, have this powerful synergy together. Thank you for all that you do. Congratulations to One Roof. I know that it is a labor of deep love for you, and with that, I think Pam has the official award.
Could you read that, please?
Oh.
Let me do it.
Okay, you did.
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay, Pam, take it away.
One Roof's community housing goal is we make home a better place, and they've stepped up to this goal by expanding their programs and partnerships to help meet the most pressing housing needs of our community. The work that One Roof has been doing in the midst of COVID is integral to creating a better place and a stronger community for all. So a huge thanks and congratulations, Jeff and your team, and for being the recipient of
Oh, we do it together.
this year's
There you go.
Building Healthy Communities Award.
Love it. And I missed some of the great talking points, so feel free to brag a little bit about the 500th home and the other things that are happening.
Well, we're delighted to be selected to receive this award this year, and super grateful for all of the support from LISC, from the city, from all of the funders that help us do what we do. My staff is amazing. Our staff is amazing. They're not just mine. Our board of directors for their leadership, and lots of corporate donors and individuals that support our work all the time. I'm just very grateful for One Roof being able to continue to meet its mission during the pandemic times, and to have some projects advancing that are really exciting.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the work you're doing is incredible. We're seeing a lot of revitalization. Decker Dwellings, of course, we saw is in a neighborhood that desperately needs affordable housing, and we want every neighborhood to be ones of choice and opportunity for people. And of course, new projects or projects that we hope to see emerge, including the corner of 6th and 4th, and other projects that I know are front of mind for you, for this community. And thank you. I know that these are long hours, long projects. Housing projects take years to package and put together, and that is tenacity and dedication on your part, so thank you.
well, our part, but also there are so many partners that help.
Yeah.
We could not do this without the help of every single entity that we interact with as we push a project or a program forward. So thank you.
That's right, thank you.
Nice.
Well, as you've heard today, there's a lot of exciting partnerships and collaborations, and I do have to say Brewery Creek Apartments as well on 4th Street and 6th Avenue that we've been waiting for years, so thank you so much for that. It really takes the inclusive engagement of all sectors of the community to push aside the obstacles that we face, to catalyze opportunities, and to build stronger, equitable, and resilient communities for all. So thank you to all of our sponsors, our donors, our local advisory board chair, Jeff Popham, and our local advisory board members. And a big shout out to LISC staff, Lars Kunow and Tina Robbins, and to our marketing committee members. I'd like to share a special thank you to Sherry Marshik, too, for the work that she did in helping us today. All of these people make this work possible, and to thank you to Linda Mathiasen and LD Marketing, and John Thane of Nunca Pictures for this year's videos. I had a lot of fun today, and I just have to say thank you to my co-host, Erin Danielson. And a very special thanks to WDSE as our host of today's event.
Yes, WDSE steps up all the time and volunteers their studios. They've helped many of the TV stations here in Duluth over the years when we've gone through needs, and they've so graciously opened up their studios so many times, and they continue to do that. So yeah, thanks to WDSE. One of the neat things about this for me today, Pam, was, we know LISC, we see LISC, I read about, your news releases, we interview people who are being helped by LISC all the time, but, coming away from this for me today was understanding how there is so much help out there, but it's so difficult to navigate that process, that LISC is kind of like the connector of dots. People who can use the help and all the grants that are available to help them, but they don't know how to get it. And LISC is that intermediary that connects all those dots. So That's my takeaway today, which is something new that I didn't quite fully understand as well as I do now. So thank you for letting me be part of this today, because that became evident to me today. And yes, and we couldn't do it without sponsors, right? This event was made possible not only by volunteer stations like WDSE, but generous sponsors support LISC. We hope you enjoyed learning how LISC did indeed rise to the challenge that have been presented by this pandemic. They are working very, very hard to rise to the challenges of ongoing needs here, to take on issues within our community, including addressing, as you talked about, Pam, racial injustice, inclusion, and equity as well.
And this annual celebration,
Yeah.
well, first of all, thank you
Yeah.
for, I like the connecting the dots. That's something that we actually view ourselves as trying to be that connector in the community.
It's clear that you do that. You do
Yeah.
that well, so
Well,
thank you. Yep.
So this annual celebration is our only fundraiser, and today we're inviting you to contribute to our work. We greatly appreciate your financial support, and your funds will go directly towards ongoing operations and investments in Duluth. So for every dollar raised locally, LISC provides $6.40 in direct resources through our national organization. You can donate on the LISC website, lisc.org/Duluth, and look for the donate link at the top right.
Yeah, we certainly hope you do indeed do that. And to learn more about the programs that we highlighted a little bit here today, and to read LISC's progress report to the community, which is very interesting, visit lisc.org/Duluth. A recording, by the way, of today's session, along with all the videos that we featured today, will also be posted on that website in the coming days.
And thanks to all of you for your investments in our community and for investing time with us today to learn more about LISC work. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful, beautiful spring summer day in Duluth.